What's up, guys? You are on the air and off the books with Beth Ann and Samantha. And today, you guys, well, okay, first off,
we're coming in hot with a new series, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a new series, brand new to Off the Books with BNS. It's called Get to Know Your Library Staff. So, this is what's happening. This is what's going on.
It's what's going down for real.
Every so often, we are going to be introducing different departments.
Yes.
Because, you know, you guys have gotten to see a couple people in our department, ATD.
Yeah.
And then probably a few more throughout different
departments. We have a lot of moving pieces in the library. We wanted you guys to be able to see that there's a lot more happening here than just some of the faces that you see when you show up.
Just two Joes, good
just
for the round on the
podcast. It's not all us.
It's not all about us.
It's not. So hopefully we'll be able to go through and we'll interview our custodial staff, we'll interview our administration department, everywhere. We're going to make all of our rounds. Yeah, and we're even going to go to the branches so you guys can see what goes on over there. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to have people introduce themselves, say what they do here, and then talk a little bit about books with us.
Ask them some very, very difficult questions.
Ask them an interesting question.
Interesting question. All right. So here is the adult and teen department.
Drum roll, please. Okay, our first guest is, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Our first guest is
Trisha Shively.
Yes. And what do you do here?
I am the head of Adult and Teen Services.
She's our boss.
She's our boss, so we can't ask her anything too crazy.
That's
because
right.
you know we might get fired.
This is the line right here.
Right.
So
what are you currently reading?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm currently reading The River We Remember by William Kent Kruger, and it is historical fiction, mystery, kind of like a little heartfelt. It talks about it's set in Minnesota. It's not for everybody, I would say.
Is it a domestic thriller, or is it more, like you said, like...
It's more of a historical, I would say more likely to have male appeal than a typical, like, a domestic thriller. So not my typical book that I talk to you guys about.
How are you feeling about it so far?
It's good. I've read some of his other books. That I have liked them better, but it could just be my current mindset because I've heard great reviews. Other people have had great reviews for this book. So it's probably just my current mindset.
And you're an audiobook reader?
I am.
So if anybody needs like audiobook recommendations,
Trisha.
This is the person that you need to go to because I think that's how you like mostly consume.
That is pretty much 100%, 99% of what I read is audiobook.
So how is this going so far? You got a star rating for this yet?
I'm probably going to give it like maybe 4. It's gotten better.
Okay.
I started it and then just wasn't feeling it. I needed something. It's not like a page turner thing. It's more of very detailed, which is not typically mine. You know, and so, but I've decided since I had it, I was going to finish it. So I'm finishing it, and I'm not struggling through it. So, but
That's
it's also
good.
not one like, oh, I can't wait to get home and turn my audiobook on, or I can't wait to get in my car and turn my audiobook on.
Okay. What is your usual genre then that you love? What's your favorite?
Typically, I like a domestic suspense book, I would say. Currently, that is typically.
And then what has been your favorite read for 2023?
Can I answer that with 2?
Yes.
We'll make an exception for our boss.
So, my favorite book that I just couldn't wait to talk to people about was called The One by John Mars.
Oh, yeah.
And that's about, like, it's science fiction, which is not normally my genre, but it is a little suspense.
I
think they consider it science fiction, but it's about a test that people can take, a DNA test that people can take to discover who their soulmate is.
Ooh, that sounds sketchy.
It's a horror. And then he also wrote a book following that called The Marriage Act. And so that kind of ties in with that, but that was also a good book. So that led me to read The Mary Jack 2. And then the other one that I read that I really, really liked, and it was also a book, so this is just like reinforces the fact that sometimes it's not the book, it's you, because I started reading Lessons in Chemistry like a long time ago, like when it first became popular, and I was just bored to death with it. And then somebody else said that they had recently read it and loved it, and like they're one of their favorite books. So I then picked it back up and listened to it, and it was beautiful.
And that's
it's
a
not,
romance?
I would not say it's romance. The cover is so misleading. So
Looks
that's
like
the
a
other thing.
rom-com.
It's not really. It's kind of a rom-com. It's kind of about like women's rights and how they were treated in the science field back in the 50s and 60s. So it's kind of one of those. All that rolled into one, but it's very good.
Okay. I like it. Those are 2 good recommendations and different kinds of recommendations.
Exactly.
So write those down, add those to your TBR. And thank you for...
Wait, we gotta ask
Aren't
her
you
the
gonna ask me
final
the magic
question.
Oh, that's right! The most important part!
What are you doing, Beth Ann?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is nerve-wracking.
If you were... I gotta get this right. If you were a flavor of ice cream, what ice cream flavor would you be?
Dun, dun, dun.
Vanilla.
Why?
Because vanilla is so versatile. So you can add chocolate to it, you could add a fruit flavoring to it, you can put it on a cookie. You can do so many different things with vanilla ice cream that changes it or enhances something else. And so I feel, and it's very flexible, and I feel like I'm a very flexible person, and I feel like I kind of can, so that's my flavor of ice cream.
It's a solid
That's
answer.
an expert answer because she's the one who came up with this question.
She's been practicing that answer.
Yes, this is the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, so take notes. If anybody asks you this in an interview, now you know what to say.
Don't say Rocky Road because it's my favorite.
Yes.
That means you just didn't listen to the interview
Yes,
question.
always process, think about it, then say.
All right.
Hiring tip.
Hiring tip, yeah.
Thank you, Trisha, for
Welcome.
joining us.
Yeah.
And now we must move on.
To the next victim. I mean, interviewee.
Who's waiting at the door.
Yes.
And we're back
Hello.
with ATD
Again.
employee Justin.
Yes, so what's your name?
Justin. My name is Justin Kingery. I'm the assistant head up here. I am Trisha's right-hand man.
Yes, and our other boss. So,
So he too can fire
Yeah.
us.
true. So, we have questions for you. What are you
That's why I'm
reading
here.
now?
I just started a book called The Nix by Nathan Hill, so I don't have
Nix?
a ton to say about it. N-I-X. The
Okay.
Nix.
Gotcha.
Not the New York Knickerbockers.
Not Stevie Nicks.
I'm also reading
Fair
several self-help books that I will not reveal the titles of. But
Fair enough.
I always have a few of those going too.
Do you read multiple books at a time?
I do. I usually have a fiction and nonfiction at least going at the same time. And then a lot of times I'll have a book that I will read at work.
For work purposes.
For work.
It is for work purposes, but
Yes.
To build his
Just so
usually-
all y'all...
I almost exclusively read print books, but for work I usually read an ebook.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm reading a book right now on the Danish philosopher Soren Kierkegaard.
Oh. That's really cool. I'm over here just reading. I'm not going to say the title. Everybody laughs at
And
me.
I think it's called like Kierkegaard for beginners. So it's, but that is on
Still.
Hoopla that I am reading that.
Which you guys should check out, absolutely. And what is your favorite book that you've read this year so far?
My favorite book that I've read this year was a recommendation from one of you guys,
Oh, really?
and it is Psalm for the Wild Build.
Yes!
I was so close.
I thought you were making eye contact with her, and I said, I was thinking, if you freaking say the fourth wing.
He doesn't want to admit it, but it's actually
Oh my
Fourth Wing.
God.
Fourth Wing is really good. Like, it is an interesting story. It's
You heard it here, folks.
there is a lot of political intrigue, and
It's a good romantasy with dragons in it, I hear.
I would say...
And that's a good sum up, right?
Like, for me, it's easy to just skip over the romance parts because they're not as interesting as the dragons.
The dragons
are always more interesting.
Dragons
than
are
romance.
always more interesting. But
Absolutely. 1,000%.
And it's got a ton of dragons, so...
Yeah.
Which is why you read a book.
But also
honestly.
that series that you recommended, The Ascendant...
Oh, yeah, that's
was
dragons.
a really good one
Dragons
as well.
everywhere.
Which I thought was going to be a trilogy, but is not. So I was like reading book 3, and I'm like, how is he going to tie all of this up? And then he doesn't, because it's not the last book. But
He's still right. It's supposed to be coming out, I think, next year. So that's good news. So look out for
I thought
that.
there were 5 books planned.
Yes, but the next one's coming out, I think,
Yes.
next year. So then what's your favorite genre?
Probably fantasy.
Yeah.
I read a lot of Brandon Sanderson, so there were a couple Brandon Sanderson books that could have been my favorite of 2023. The Lost Metal was fantastic. Tress in the Emerald Isle was great.
I haven't read that one
Would
yet.
you call yourself a Sanders son?
I,
Oh my God, get
actually
out of
would
here.
absolutely never do that.
It's fine, you know. I wouldn't do that either, but I'm confident Beth Ann would.
No, I wouldn't.
What do they call the Sander?
Oh, when you
Sander
get to
boys.
the end of... No.
The Sander dudes.
You're talking about the Sanderlanche at the end of his books where he like piles everything on you and then you can't breathe because it's just so awesome at the end.
No, I'm talking about his fans. You know.
I don't think we have a name.
Now you do.
We have dignity.
The Sander sons. We have one more question.
Yes.
It's really hard.
Okay.
If you were a flavor of ice cream, what flavor of ice cream would you be and why?
I would actually like to hear your answers for me.
Oh.
What flavor of ice cream do you think I am? Because I do have an answer to this question.
Oh, dang.
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan?
Yep.
Please tell me why.
Because you just never know.
Yeah, you do. There's 3 options of Neapolitan. You know it's going to be
You
one of the
only have
3.
You never know what you're gonna get when you take the scoop. Are you gonna get 3? Are you gonna get 2? Is it just gonna be magically brown because you've scooped them all together and now they've all combined? You just don't know.
How do you eat ice cream? I know exactly what I'm getting. I can see it when I scoop.
I don't understand.
Nope. All at once.
She eats it blindfolded in a dark room.
This is the better. You scoop it all out. Okay, it's in the bowl. You throw your spoon in. You don't know what flavor you're gonna get.
You literally eat it blindfolded, don't you?
I know exactly what flavor I'm going to get.
I'm looking as the spoon is going into my mouth.
Nope, you just scoop.
Okay, my answer. All right. So I think that you would be some kind of like toffee pecan or like butter kind of ice cream because it's really deep and complex and like just a great choice. You know what I
Toffee
mean?
is always a great choice.
It's always a
Toffee
great
is-
choice.
But sometimes it's a little crunchy.
Sometimes, I mean, some days are like that,
Some days
Justin.
are like that.
It do be like that sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
We all have our
That's-
crunchy days, you know?
So, Neapolitan. I don't even know what to say to you right now.
That's a great explanation.
No, it wasn't.
That's a great explanation. But what would you describe yourself as?
Vanilla.
Really?
Yes.
I
Because
think
I-
him and Trisha rehearsed this.
Well, okay.
So Trish and I have talked about this, and did she steal my answer?
She did. She absolutely did.
She did, yeah, 100%.
But why?
But why? Well, how would you describe the vanilla?
I would say vanilla is... A good vanilla ice cream is very complex, but it's
It
very
is.
subtle.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you like a vanilla bean or just straight vanilla?
Vanilla bean.
I am a high-end vanilla ice cream.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Where people
So good.
scrape the vanilla out
And,
of
like,
the pod.
Yes. Like
That's
dismantle
intense.
the box to...
Okay.
But I think vanilla is the best ice cream.
I agree with you.
I think people are like, oh, it's too basic. I was like,
No,
eating
you're eating the
bad.
wrong vanilla.
You're eating wrong vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Absolutely 1,000%. But
Thank
she didn't
you.
say it like that, so you guys have
What
different
did
answers.
she say?
Vanilla is very versatile.
And you can add things.
It is versatile.
It
Like
is.
it is a great base for a lot of different things. But also, I
True.
think it shines on its own.
It does.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Bravo. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you for having me.
We do what we can.
Thank you for being willing to be suckered into this.
It is my
appreciate it.
pleasure. Yeah.
We welcome to the podcast Brittany.
Hello.
Our partner in crime.
Yes.
The face behind the podcast that you guys never get to see, hear, talk to.
She
We
actually
bullied her today.
She actually is just like the glue to the podcast. keeping
Yeah,
it
she
together.
holds us together.
The silent
She's
B.
the and between B and S.
Yes.
You know, the glue essentially that just
Just kind of forced my way in there.
that's right, just
I'm part of this now.
that's right.
So Brittany,
Yes. Hello.
we got some complicated questions for you.
I'm sure you
First,
do.
what do you do here?
Why do you do things here?
I am the teen librarian here. And no, that does not mean that I am a teenager who happens to be a librarian. I've had a patron think that before.
That's actually
That's
hilarious.
interesting. Yeah.
No, it just means that I do all of the teen programming, and I'm also in charge of the young adult and junior high collections.
Yeah, so she's the reason we have Where He Can't Find You in the Collection by Darcy Coates.
Yes.
Which is an amazing horror book that you should pick up now.
Bowing down to Brittany.
Thank you, Brittany, for ordering all of the wonderful things to add to the collection upstairs and all the other branches.
You are welcome.
And she's also responsible for all of the amazing programming that we have for our art group and
Yes.
our writers group for the teens.
She do be doing all the things.
Yes, so
I do try.
applause is in order. Yeah. So, what's the next question?
What is your favorite thing? Well, actually, no. Let's ask this first. What are you currently reading?
I am getting ready to start reading The Scarlet Alchemist by Kylie Lee Baker.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I've heard that name, that author's name. It sounds very familiar.
What's the genre?
It looks fantasy-ish.
Like romantasy fantasy or like fantasy?
Probably romance. Like
A little bit of
some
romance in there. Gotcha. Okay. That actually sounds really good. So then, what would you say your favorite like genre is in general? Like if you had to like pick something to stay with.
Probably like magical fantasy. I enjoy magical aspects in my books. I also like the crime books.
Oh yeah.
So Jennifer Lynn Barnes, our girl.
Yeah.
Represent.
So good. So good. Okay. So then, what is your favorite book that you've read this year for 2023?
I talk about this book like every time I see you guys.
It's fine. Perfect.
And
Never
now I
talk
can't
about it
remember the
again.
name.
How
It's
dare you.
lost.
And now
Iron Widow.
I was gonna say
That's what it is.
That is-
Iron Widow by Jiran J. Zhao.
And that is like a magical fantasy kind of
Yes.
book. And it's with mechas in it, you said?
Yeah,
right?
with like giant mechas and just a feral protagonist.
I love that.
It's fantastic.
We love
The
a
feral
feral
energy.
protagonist.
Yeah,
Yes.
we love feral energy around here.
fantastic.
That
It's
is
like-
ATD.
Yeah, feral energy.
Yeah.
ATD.
Yeah.
Fun news. I actually found that book through the author's YouTube channel.
Nice.
Oh,
She does a YouTube channel and she like looks at different movies and their Asian influences and kind of like picks them apart and is like, yes, this is legit, or like, no.
Did she do a review for the new Milan?
She did. So she did one for the original animated one, and then she did one for the new one, and she just
Oh, that
may or
would
may
be
not have
interesting.
ripped it apart.
What did she think? Oh, now I'm getting off track. But what did she think? What did she think about the cartoon?
She thought that they did well with it. She did laugh at some of the words that they would like write out in
right
there.
around.
That they would write, and like I don't know what they say, but she knew what they said.
I wonder if it's like a Disney like joke, like because
Oh, Disney.
like a lot of people in America aren't gonna know what that says.
So it's like when you get tattoos of
Yeah.
like kanji on your body.
It's very similar, yeah.
And it says I like chicken nuggets.
And you're like, this is like some wise quote from so and so, and they're
Wisdom.
just like, why does it just say
Chicken
bathroom
nuggets.
across your back? Like,
Don't understand.
like what is happening?
That's hilarious.
Always fact check your tattoos from reliable sources, ladies and gentlemen.
Especially if you're gonna get them like on your face or something.
Or just don't get stuff in a language you don't speak.
Exactly. I think that's just the way that it should be. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but
Or,
don't
like-
listen to me. Do it. Live your life, okay?
Or at least like get stuff in a language that like belongs to like your ancestor, not some like random like
Yeah.
I am.
Or if you have some like deep philosophical connection or like
Yeah.
it really impacted you in some way.
But again, live your life.
Yeah.
Live your best I love chicken nuggets life.
Right, because
Girl,
it's still
same.
the truth.
Girl,
Yeah.
same.
I mean, like, were they wrong?
No. It doesn't quite say what you thought, but it still says what's important.
Yeah,
All right.
which
Okay.
is chicken nuggets.
I love chicken nuggets.
But yes, she has a YouTube channel.
You should check it out.
You should check it out. It's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, and you should
Check
also,
out
if you're
Iron
a
Window.
teen, check out teen things and the writers group and stuff.
Yeah.
It's got some big traction.
Yeah.
And we have one more really important question for you.
Yes.
This is the hardest one.
This is the hardest question you'll ever answer in
I
your whole
bet.
life.
if you were a flavor of ice cream, what flavor would you be, and why would you be that flavor?
Dun dun dun.
Chocolate chip cookie dough. With the
Okay.
cookie dough chunks in it.
Why?
Because it's delicious and I'm amazing. So
Good
Because Brittany
answer.
is delicious and amazing.
because
gonna
it
say-
is delicious and I am amazing. They go together.
That's right. Perfect answer, actually. I like that
I
answer.
love that answer. That's legit.
It is, and also I like that it was like you knew and you owned that answer,
Yeah.
and it didn't have to be like this deep, like serious,
No. Yeah.
like
It's like obviously.
Because
picked
we're both
apart
amazing.
thing.
And
Like-
it's delicious.
Yes.
It really is delicious though. I would say like for my like favorite flavors, that would be like maybe number one.
I don't like ice cream, so
That's
I'm not
fair.
the person to say. And I don't eat cookie dough because I'm a tragedy.
Beth Ann is basically a treasure.
I'm the wrong person.
We don't even have to interview her. You just know everything about her now.
I guess the more appropriate question for you would be, if you were a candy, what kind of candy would you be, and why is the answer peach rings?
I love how we just went straight to calling me out.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to roast you lately.
I know, true. Fair enough. Okay, listen. All right, I bleed peach rings, okay?
She does.
Cut me, and it's all peach juice just flowing. Peach anything, all right? Just, I would lick a pole if it was peach, okay? Listen.
And on that note, thank you, Brittany, for joining us. You're welcome. It was very nice talking to you, and have a great day.
Thank you for having me here.
Pew, pew, pew. What's up, guys? We're back, and we have another coworker with us. And who are you?
My name's Austin.
And what do you do here, Austin?
I'm an information services assistant, and I work here in the adult and teen department at Main Branch.
Yes, so that means that actually you're one of us. One of us. One of us. So the longer this goes, the crazier it gets. Okay, so essentially what we all do is we help with the computers in the lab and things like that upstairs. So we do a lot of customer service. So what are you reading or watching right now?
Okay, so this is going to be probably a little bit different from everyone else's. I tried to read A Psalm for the Wild Bill. It's a very short book, and it's taken me about a month. I've had it checked out now.
You're in school though right now, right?
Not right now, but I'll get to that.
Okay, fair enough.
I tried to read that, and it just didn't really click too well for me. I think I'm about to return it. It's a good book, but just not for me. What I'm actually reading is scientific journal articles. I use some open source things, Science Open, I believe is one that's called. It's kind of like EBSCO. And I've been reading about Olympic National Park and the thermal hot springs there.
Oh, that's really cool, actually. You and Justin are super fancy with your fiction business.
Yeah.
I feel so bad reading.
We're reading
what-
about magical
I know, like
vampires.
crazy.
They're reading about educational things. We're just,
And
we're
it's so
not that
interesting
cool.
stuff too.
Yes.
So then, what is the best thing that you've read this year?
The best thing I've read, novel-wise. Well, I really liked Where the Crawdads Sing. that was a really good book. I really enjoyed that. Just the setting of it and just the mystery to it was really good.
So then would you say that your favorite genre is more like realistic fiction or nonfiction?
My favorite genre would be nonfiction, but whenever it comes to fiction, I think mystery and fantasy. Like I have Fairy Tale bought by Stephen King.
Oh yeah, I want to read that. Have you read it yet? Started it?
I started it and it's really good so far. I have not very far. My girlfriend got me that and Where the Crawdads Sing, my own copies.
You would like this book if you liked Where the Crawdads Sing.
Midnight is the darkest hour.
No, how do you feel about romance in your stories?
It's fine.
You might like it actually then. We would recommend it.
Okay.
That is by, for everybody listening, Ashley Winstead. We also did we did a podcast on, I can't remember. We did a podcast on this and I think you would like it. It's more of like a domestic, like
Small
it's suspensey, small town situation. Yeah, I think that would be a good recommendation for you.
I seem to like small town novels.
Yeah.
It's very good. So we have
one more really difficult question.
Very hard question.
Very
the hardest question you'll ever answer in your whole life.
If you were a flavor of ice cream, what flavor would you be?
Well,
and why?
You can see everybody's faces when we ask them this question. It's just like they get tense and then they're just like, "Oh my god,
well, why did I come on
here? Why are we doing this?"
Well, I'm going to use the same answer that I gave Justin and Trisha during the interview.
Okay, so you guys haven't caught on to this. The reason we picked this question is because we've all been asked this question hiring into ATD. So it's a very pivotal, important question for our department. So we thought it would be cool to bring that up into it.
Full
little
circle.
Inside joke, full circle. What ice cream?
So it's is it Neapolitan or Superman because I am multidisciplinary.
Okay.
In my studies.
Listen, best answer. Well, Brittany's was really good, but this is a good answer.
I'm pretty sure my answer when I had to answer it for Justin and Trisha was birthday cake because I like to have fun.
And we're here, ladies and gentlemen.
And somehow they hired me.
Very good answer.
Thank you.
Great answer, actually.
That was a good answer.
Good. Man. Yeah, snaps for you, Austin. Thank you for being on the podcast with us.
You're welcome.
And humoring us today.
Absolutely.
So, maybe we'll see Austin next time. Maybe we can sucker him into being back.
Yes. And now joining us, we have Ben. Ben, would you like to introduce yourself and say what you do here?
That's right. I run the Digital Den here, so I go by Digital Ben so that it's easy for people to remember my name.
And then when you mess up, it still makes sense.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. It was a joke that people were going to make anyway, and so I decided to get ahead of it and name myself that.
And I also word messed up everything that I was saying when you started here, and I accidentally it came out. So now it's just all on purpose.
Yep.
Just Digital Ben.
That's right.
Yeah, just Digital Ben. It's awesome. It's great. Okay, so what are you reading right now?
So I just finished a series called the Superpowers series by Drew Hayes. I love that series. It's a reread. It's my favorite series. It's about these. It's a world where people have superpowers, but there is a population of people called Powards who have superpowers they can't control. Like, for example, there's a character that gets introduced in the book who can teleport randomly to a location they don't choose whenever they sneeze. And so...
Dude, that sucks. I sneeze all the time.
Yeah, right. And so, you'll be talking to, a patron here at the library, you'll sneeze, and then all of a sudden you'll be at Dairy Queen.
Oh, but that's
if that's all it takes.
Yeah, right.
I'm not mad about that.
Yeah, right. But it's not... Yeah. Yeah. So, that's a very minor character. I think they're in the first book and that's it. But
the best character.
It's a really fun series. and just finished that up. Currently, I am reading through The Boys, the graphic novels.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. How far are you?
I am about midway through volume 1. It's a show I watched on Amazon.
Yeah.
I've watched the first few episodes.
I've seen the show.
Yeah.
I was a little disturbed.
It's
It's a heavy book.
It's a little bit on the how do I put this in a way that's not too adult? Well, too adult. It's a little bit on the adult side of what I typically enjoy.
Yes, it is. But I think that it is kind of astonishing, actually, that I've picked it up and read the whole thing, too, because it's not really up my alley. But the premise of it is so interesting because if superheroes were real, if it was a real-life, everyday thing, if they were here, this is...
People.
Yeah. This is really what it would be like.
Yes.
And I think that's why I really like the idea of it.
If you like that idea, but you do not like the idea of it being too adult,
Rated R.
The Reckoners series by Brandon Sanderson is a very similar premise, but more YA.
Mirando Sando. He always comes up because he's the best. Take note, Samantha.
Sorry, my ear just popped and it felt funny.
I was going to say, why are you hitting your head?
No.
Not Brandon Sanderson. No.
Get out.
Awesome.
No.
So what is your favorite genre that you would say?
I don't know. I would say it's some sort of cross between sci-fi and fantasy. I think so. It's a specific type of sci-fi is what I would say my favorite genre is. Sci-fi that does not at all involve space.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
I get that. And that's interesting because a lot of people think that science fiction has to be space, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think that's just like a very small thing that people have latched onto.
Yeah.
And that as soon as they see the science fiction section, they're like, nah.
Yeah,
that's
it's like,
not for
oh,
me.
Star Wars, Star Trek, that's sci-fi.
No,
and it is.
It is, but it's not the majority of it. There's a lot of cool things in there that you guys should pick up.
I don't like reading about the space sci-fi, but I do like the alien space movies. I do like those.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
the
those are
underwater ones, when there's some crazy creature under
That's
the
also
water
science
and they're
fiction-y.
down kind of not really like the Meg, but more alien.
Like if the shark was
Yeah.
3-headed and
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like that type of situation.
So then what's your favorite book you've read this year?
Favorite book I've read this year? Probably one of the superpowered books. I don't know. I've read a lot of Brandon Sanderson this year, and there's been a lot of good ones. I mean, I've read through the entirety of the Stormlight Archives this year, and I would say that Word of Radiance is the best one of that series, personally. The Final Empire, I read through Mistborn back in January. That was also really good. But honestly, this is a little the Superpowered books. It's a little bit of a guilty pleasure read. It's like a slice of life superhero book. So it's like a day in the life of having superpowers. And I didn't know that I would love it, but I really love it. So
you just gotta find your niche, and then it's like Vampire Academy for Samantha. It's her comfort.
I'm on my 4th reread right now, and I'm almost to the end, and I'm like.
But the actual correct answer for you, Ben, is when you read Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Oh, that's
that
right.
will be your favorite book of the
You've
year.
been telling me about
But
that.
also, we are suggesting to you and Kaylee, you guys have to read it. You have no choice. Where He Can't Find You.
Oh, have you read it, though?
I have read it.
Oh, okay.
Where He Can't Find You. By Darcy Coates.
Yes.
I think you guys will both really like it.
Oh,
It's an homage.
to it? Like
Yes.
the weird stuff, or like the stuff that people
the
remember?
good stuff.
Okay.
The stuff that people remember. The stuff that really
Like the turtle or the clown?
the clown.
The clown.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Turtle.
there's a space turtle in it.
Not the space turtle.
Dude, I had no idea.
I was
Yeah, there's a
confused.
lot. Like the problem with the movies is that they cut out a lot of the stuff that is kind of superfluous. It's not an actual problem. I like the movies better than the book.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it's an homage to the movies then, because
Yeah.
I've not
Whoops.
read the book.
I just totally.
Turn the printer on.
I just turned on the printer somehow.
That's a little extra for all of you. So, yeah, I think that I don't know that if you would enjoy it as much as we think Kaylee would.
I think Kaylee would really like it.
Yes.
But it's a good nod in that direction because it's the stuff, it reminds you of the parts that are really like bone chilling and atmospheric. So that's our recommendation to you.
Okay.
And then final question.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
Okay. You might want to do some stretching, some deep breathing.
Some vocal exercises.
If you were a flavor of ice cream.
Okay.
What flavor of ice cream would you be and why?
This was asked to me in my interview to get this job.
Oh my gosh, no way!
Yeah. Yes.
An ATG signature, ladies and gentlemen.
No, there is only one correct answer to this. And the correct answer is vanilla.
Oh my gosh. Is that your answer or is that...
Yes, because vanilla is incredibly adaptable to every situation. Back in the Digital Den, there are just a billion different tools back there. People come in with new questions every day. You got to be adaptable to every situation to, to be able to thrive back in the Digital Den. And so vanilla is the perfect one for that. Somebody comes in, they're a little nutty. Boom, you got some nuts in there. You got some nuts with vanilla. Somebody comes in, they're a little bit on the chocolatey side. Boom, you got yourself like a chocolatey mix situation going on there. Yeah, there's you can throw a little bit of everything into vanilla and it always works. And vanilla is also the base for like every other ice cream. People are like, "Oh, I love chocolate ice cream." Yeah, but there's vanilla in chocolate ice cream.
It started off that way, technically.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like it.
So if somebody says, "Oh, Rocky Road," because that's my favorite, that's the worst answer.
Okay,
if you pick
Trisha.
Yeah. That's how you
If you pick Rocky Road, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean,
we got some serious Rocky Road haters in this building.
No, there's nothing wrong with Rocky Road. That's not the question.
Not the answer.
The question is, which one are you? And if you're Rocky Road, you're boring.
You aren't necessarily your favorite flavor to eat.
That's right. My favorite character in everything that I read is always the giant buff guy. But even though I sound giant buff on this, on this podcast, I'm not a giant buff guy. So I'm not that character in the books, and I'm not Rocky Road in the ice cream.
Okay,
that was deep.
Yeah, that's an even better answer than every other vanilla answer we've had.
Well,
bravo,
good job.
Thank
you, Ben, for joining
you're
us.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could be here.
Thank you.
We now have Tanya with us. Welcome, Tanya.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell us what you do here?
I am the AV librarian here at the library. I select all the movies and music and work the reference desk.
Woohoo! Yay! So all of your amazing video content comes from the one and only Tanya. So you're welcome.
All of my heartland.
You're very welcome.
Yes. So we have questions for you, Tanya. What... If you're not reading right now, if you're watching, what is the book or movie you're watching, reading right now?
I am currently reading and I am sorry I can't remember the title of it, it's the Tyler Trent biography for our walking book club at the YMCA.
Okay.
And then I am currently going backwards and watching The Odd Couple, the new version of The Odd Couple with Matthew Perry.
Very nice.
Which you can get at the library.
Yes, and so what would you say is your favorite genre of book read, like books and things like that? And does that match your favorite genre for movies?
My favorite genre of book would be the thriller type book.
Okay.
Like kind of that kind of thing, because I like the suspense. And 9 times out of 10, I like watching that type of movies.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So thriller movies, thriller books. Mm-hmm. We like it. We got some variety around here. And then, so what has been your favorite watch or read for 2023?
Oh, that's a good question.
And if you have multiples or things like that, you can let us know.
Justin did cheat, and he gave us 2. So
yes, you can also cheat.
Well, I bit the bullet and read November 9th by Colleen Hoover.
Oh, okay.
And did like that.
Okay.
For watch, oh heavens, I watch so much stuff.
So many good things.
Yeah. Oh heavens.
We stumped her, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, she stumped me.
The only correct answer is Heartland.
Oh my gosh.
You know, but we'll accept other answers here, you know?
But yeah.
So good. Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay.
So, one last question for you before we let you leave and
Okay.
escape from us.
It's the hardest question.
Okay.
It's good. It's really gonna stump you and make you think. If you were a flavor of ice cream, what flavor would you be and why?
Chocolate and peanut butter.
Okay.
Because chocolate and peanut butter is the very best flavor.
And you're the very best.
Tanya
very
is the very best AV librarian
Yes.
ever. So,
Give Tanya a round of applause.
Thank you, thank
snap.
you.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on, Tanya.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate
You're
your
welcome.
All right, guys, and we are back. Thank you for listening to part 1 of Meet.
Get to know ATD.
Yeah, get to know ATD.
ATD is, if you don't already know, if you haven't picked that up, is the adult and teen department here at the library. So you're getting to know some of our coworkers, the employees of the beautiful, wonderful library.
Yeah. Were there answers that surprised you? Were there answers that surprised us? Yes. You know,
What are your answers to those questions? So
what flavor of ice cream are you? What would you be?
yeah,
If you were a
don't
flavor.
you could say vanilla if you want, I guess. Everybody else does.
I think this episode was very great for like formal interviews, like giving great ideas.
Yeah, so you're welcome if you're interviewing anyone. That's the question you should ask.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you should tune in for part 2, and we're gonna interview for you the rest of the adult and teen
I
department.
think we got like what 4 or 5 more people.
5 more people left. Yep.
We got a big department, guys. We gotta
too.
split it up.
We're
Listen,
one
this
of the
was
biggest.
already like 40 minutes, and we only talked to like 5 people. So.
I know. So we're gonna break it up for you, so you guys don't have to endure it all at once. And yeah, we'll see you again.
All right. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.